Hello everyone. Today, I will tell you a terrible story related to the tornado that happened in Miami. You can't even imagine how many people have gone missing. Let me tell you everything in detail, my dear viewers. Recently, Miami faced an extraordinarily powerful storm that led to the emergence of a tornado, leaving destruction and many questions in its wake. This event became a true catastrophe for the city, with consequences felt not only physically but also emotionally by its residents. On that day, the sky over Miami darkened, and strong winds began to intensify. Local meteorologists had warned of possible worsening weather conditions, but no one expected the tornado to form so quickly and with such force. Many residents were outside, enjoying the warm weather and anticipating evening events. Suddenly, a rumble erupted, growing louder by the second, and soon the sky seemed to tear apart. The tornado swept through the streets of the city, leaving behind destroyed buildings, torn off roofs, and uprooted trees. In an instant, panic gripped the residents. People rushed to find shelter, but in the chaos, many got lost. Hundreds found themselves trapped among the debris, while those who managed to take cover were in shock from what they had witnessed. Amidst the destruction, searches for missing persons began. Local authorities immediately organized rescue operations, dispatching teams of rescuers to the most affected areas. However, it soon became evident that the situation was much more complicated than anticipated. Several people were indeed missing, and their fates remained unknown. Rumors of mysterious disappearances quickly spread across social media. Residents shared their stories of how they last saw their acquaintances before the tornado struck the city. Some claimed to have seen people being swept into the air or disappearing into the vortex. Soon, theories began to emerge suggesting that the tornado might have taken people to another dimension or that they had fallen victim to some supernatural force. Local media actively covered the situation, emphasizing the mystical aspects of what was happening. Reporters interviewed witnesses and tried to determine exactly what occurred on that fateful day. Some residents spoke of feeling a strange pull toward the center of the tornado, as if it were calling them. Rescue operations continued for several days, and although most people were found and rescued, some still remained on the list of missing persons. Authorities urged residents to stay calm and not succumb to panic. Nevertheless, fear and uncertainty hung in the air. The situation was exacerbated by the fact that many of the missing individuals were connected to local communities, families, friends, and colleagues. This created an atmosphere of deep anxiety and sorrow. Social media was flooded with messages about searches, calls for help in finding the missing, and expressions of support for their families. Soon after the incident, discussions began on how to prepare for such natural disasters in the future. Local authorities started holding meetings with residents to discuss evacuation plans and safety measures during storms. However, even these measures could not dispel the fear of a potential recurrence of such an event. Parallel to the official searches, volunteer groups mobilized to organize search operations in areas where disappearances were suspected. People banded together in groups armed with flashlights and maps to scour regions where the missing might be located. Some residents began sharing their own stories about how they survived the tornado. These accounts became a source of inspiration for many. They showcased the strength of the human spirit and the desire to help each other in difficult times. Ultimately, after several days of intense searching and investigations, authorities announced the conclusion of operations. Unfortunately, some people were never found. Their fates remained a mystery for everyone, for families, friends, and the entire city. This event left a deep mark on the hearts of Miami residents and became a topic of discussion for many months to come. If you want to know more about this situation, then write about it in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel.